Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and the pile of new game stuff is starting to stack up, so it's time to go over them. So strap in. Hopefully I can fly through it real quick, and this can be a quick thing, but I might tend to get into a little bit of story mode, but we'll see what happens. Let's get into it. First thing we got here is a Lime Game Boy Color, another color variant to add to the collection, along with Yu Yu Hakusho Tournament Tactics, the Lone 64 game, NBA in the Zone 98. And this was a really cool yard sale pickup. I saw this advertised on Facebook. This person was going to have a yard sale, and they had a nice little Wii lot there with some really good Wii games and stuff. But this is the only stuff I needed out of the rest of those games, but I was actually the first one there who made it and was able to get this deal. Normally, anytime you see a yard sale advertising video games, normally someone already buys them before the sale. It's already gone, but I got them this time, and these are the only two things we're keeping, but one of them is really cool. First one here, nothing big. Dodge Racing Charger versus Challenger. Just again, if I come across games that I don't have in the wild, I just keep them. So I don't get rid of them. Like, if it's not a double, I'm keeping it. And the thing with this collection, this was at like an older lady's home, so all this stuff is actually in really good shape. Like, no one's ever played it. And the signs show with this right here, because this is a Wii Sports Resort that comes with the bonus Wii Motion Plus inside. And guys, this thing is still sealed, brand new. I don't know if y'all can see it there. There's the tape there. It's on the bottom here. Never been open or broken, so that is awesome to add to the collection at a yard sale. And my other yard sale find was this PS4 copy of Fast and Furious Crossroads. I was told this was like a bad game, or from what I've seen, but I still wanted it, and it was only $1 at the yard sale, so in the collection it goes. Alright, next up was the deal I did with another local collector. He has NES stuff. He's trying to go for full sets of NES and Super Nintendo. It's the same guy I bought the Link from the Past from at the game show. He's an awesome guy, and he gives me good deals on his doubles, and he had two games that I needed, and they were these: Krusty's Funhouse on the NES and Robo Warrior on the NES with its manual. Alright, next up we're going to dive into a juicy trade that I did at the Game World store in Spokane. Normally it's a store I only go to maybe once or twice a year, because it's almost an hour and 45 minutes away, and it's not worth the drive. But I let a big old pile of games stack up that's just the low-hanging fruit fodder that no one wants to buy, and I go ahead and take it up there and trade it into stuff I either want for the collection or stuff I can move easier so I can get stuff for the collection if they don't have anything I want. First things first, we'll get my big fail out the way, and it's this game right here. It is Ride to Hell Retribution, but it is sealed and brand new. When I saw this for $40, I was like, wow, that's a steal, because I think this is one of the rare games that is like going up in price for the 360. No, I got that confused with Infernal Hell's Vengeance. This is just a crappy game. Infernal might be a crappy one too, but this is pretty much the market value of this game. But I thought I caught the store slipping on something, but I didn't with this one. But a game later on we're going to show, I caught them slipping big time. Next up, Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z. And now into the juicy stuff. A guy had recently just traded in his whole Game Boy Advance complete in box set. And guys, if I can find the pictures here, I'll put them up. It had heater after heater in this collection. This guy was a part of the military, thank him for his service, but he is getting shipped off or deployed overseas, and he's already transported these games 2 or 3 times, and he didn't want to do it again, so he traded them into the game store, which kind of hurt me hearing that, because it's like, man, they made the journey so many times. I wish he could have kept them and endured the journey once more with him, because there's really good games in there, and I know the game store probably paid him 30, maybe 40% in cash of what that stuff is, because normally from what I've researched, they only pay like 25 to 30% in cash, so it just stinks of how much he lost out on it. First one I picked out was this James Pond, codename RoboCod. I've heard about this game on YouTube before. The really neat thing about this, besides its price, I think I paid like 18 or 16 bucks for it. It's still sealed, guys. This is brand new. It has its seal on it still. I don't know if you can see in there. The one issue with it being this corner is kind of missing of the seal. Everything else is still shrink wrapped. It was never open. You can't get it open even with that part missing, so really cool. Next one we got that was a great price was Super Mario Advance 2 Super Mario World. Awesome little score here, because I want to say it was like 45 bucks I think is what he charged me for it. And guys, the box is minty. That's the thing with like this guy's whole collection. Most of the boxes are just in near mint impeccable shape. They were incredible. So when I saw it, even though I own the game loose already, I was like, I gotta get this box because it's just beautiful. And since we're talking about game stores, let's dive into some GameStop and East Starland pickups. As you guys know, I also send stuff to East Starland to trade in to try to get games for the collection and so on and so forth. I've had a pile of money sitting there for a while now, and I wait for things to come up, and then some stuff came up I actually needed. So I used some of my funds and picked up these 3 Wii U games to get a little bit closer to completing that collection. This horrible glare, I don't know how you YouTubers deal with lighting. It is my worst enemy. I can never figure it out, but Lego Jurassic World, Snoopy's Grand Adventure, and the Wonderful 101. Next up, the GameStop 4 for $40 sale that happened recently, where you can find 4 games that are $20 and under and pay $40 instead of $80. So basically half off if you can get all the way up to that number. My store never really has a lot of inventory, but this is what we grabbed. A second copy of Monster Hunter Rise for my son so we can play co-op together, since you can't really do local co-op stuff. Remothered Broken Porcelain. I don't really know anything about this game, but I like survival horror stuff, and this looks like it might be a horror game, so I grabbed it. Godfather 2 on Xbox 360. And to round up the 4 for $40, Valkyria Elysium on the PS5. Alright, next up, the Facebook deals. In this first one, a guy was selling a GameCube with some games, and I actually needed 4 out of the 6 games he had in that bundle, so it's these 4. Rocket Power Beach Bandits, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Scooby-Doo Mystery Mayhem, and Super Monkey Ball 2. Again, nothing super crazy in there, but I really needed those games for the collection, and for the price I paid, it was more than worth it. So we already got rid of the GameCube and the other 2 games to recoup pretty much all of our cost, and yeah, good additions. Alright, next up is a Facebook deal that literally went down the day before recording this video, so whenever I post this, it happened the day before the recording. But it was a guy selling a PS2, a PSP, Xbox 360 with like 4 or 5 controllers. He also had like 75 games pictured. I saw the listing, it had already been up for an hour. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get it. I even saw under the listing where someone offered the guy $100, and I was like, man, what a low ball. That person who did that was really scummy. But I messaged him, he said, yeah, it's still available. And I was like, hey, I'll pay your full asking price for it. And the reason I got it was mainly because of one game I saw in there I wanted for the collection. But out of all those 70 games, I only needed like 5 of them. Most of them are just like your basic sports stuff. But still, for the price tag, it was a great price for the amount of stuff you got with the consoles. And these games I get to add. Plus, it's a future contact because he's hanging on to his GameCube stuff right now. But he says he has a GameCube with about 15 to 20 more games he'll eventually probably want to part with. And he said he'll contact me when he's ready to do so. But let's get into the games we're going to keep from this one. Speaking of GameCube, we'll show the lone one of that first. And he also had this manual in it, Simpsons Road Rage. So it's one I need for the collection. Hopefully it's one of the games he still has he'll sell to me in the future, and I'll have the manual for it. But he had Burnout 2 Point of Impact in the box, and I needed it, so awesome addition. Next up is Ghostbusters, the video game on Wii. I played this on the other systems, but I'm wondering if like this Wii version has like motion controls with it, so I figured it'd be cool still to have it and give it a try. Splinter Cell Double Agent, again, probably the most inferior way to play it, but I didn't have it, and like I said, if I don't have it, I want to keep it, and it's cool sometimes to see the difference between like an Xbox 360 version to a Wii version. NBA Jam on the PS2, and the big one that caught my eye from the listing was this one right here, Blitz the League 2. I mean, anywhere from, I see this thing go from 60 to $100. So when I saw this, it's one I've been wanting to add to the collection for the $200 price tag. And yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little work and recouping the money, getting rid of the other stuff, but it's more than worth it to be able to add this stuff to my collection, especially this beauty right here. Can't wait to give it a try because I love the Blitz games growing up, but never tried any of these newer ones, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, and last but not least will be another Facebook Marketplace deal, but I got 2 yard sale pickups underneath that. It's just because they're all PS1 games, so it's more uniform together. But the Facebook deal was actually a PS2 with some PS2 games, PS2 Slim, a couple controllers, and these games. So I was like, you know what? I need those PS1 games, so we'll go ahead and buy that bundle because it was a great price. And these were those games: Soviet Strike, Crash Bash, Crash Team Racing, Crash Bandicoot Warped, Digimon Rumble Arena, and Crash Bandicoot 2. So awesome little Facebook edition right there from that stack, but the yard sale stuff was even better because you don't normally see these games at yard sales, so this is pretty cool. First one being The Legend of Dragoon. Alright, and last but not least is a game that I didn't even know existed. I'm not a huge PS1 collector, but when stuff jumps out to me that I want to add to the collection, and of course if I don't have it, I pick it up. And this one is one I didn't know about, so I had to pick it up. And that is The Incredible Hulk, The Pantheon Saga. Looks like just a Hulk beat 'em up, but it's a game I had never heard of, and I looked up gameplay of it. It looks kind of bad, but still, it's always cool to add these Marvel games or Marvel character games. Sometimes it just starts shooting up in price out of nowhere, so to be able to find it at a great price at a yard sale is like, let me go and pick it up before it happens to one of these too. So pretty awesome, like, yard sale find. You don't really find stuff like this at yard sales, so that was cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I may have missed some stuff because stuff just starts piling up here like crazy, but it's time to start getting it off the shelves. So this was the quick, not so quick pickup. Some of you guys know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you picked up anything recently. I'll catch you guys in the next one.